Over here at Next Level Guitar. How you doing? Today we're going to have a really fun Inspired By lesson, and the goal of this lesson is to take something that's super popular, total ear candy, something that we've heard all the time, and definitely one of my favorite artists, and use it to express ourselves in a bit of a different way. Hey everybody, how you doing? This is your moment where we get all the good info. All you got to do is just click on that link that you see below there in that YouTube text box. What do you get by clicking the link? Well, you're going to get a free coinciding ebook that's not available on YouTube, as well as your own private lesson that is not available on YouTube. And all you got to do is just click on that link. Again, you're going to get a free video not available on YouTube, a coinciding ebook, tons of great information, chords, scales, diagrams, all of that pertinent information. And all you got to do is just click on that simple link. And a lot of the times it's hard to find progressions that are so easy to play that we can push ourselves to try different forms of soloing, be it with our pentatonic scales or whatever we like to use. So this lesson is going to be inspired by just that. We're going to use these chords, we're going to solo a little bit differently than you may, and we're just going to have a good time. So let's dive right on in, and we'll take it right off of our F sharp minor chord. So let's listen to what this guy sounds like. I'm going to show you a bunch of different ways to voice this. I've got kind of a clean tone going. I like to swim in reverb, and I've got a little bit of distortion. So if I get I got a little bit of gain there, but if I turn my guitar down, I can get a kind of a nice little haunting clean sound. I got a lot of dynamic or headroom working off of my volume knob, and that's going to help us be dynamic in our soloing, because that's one of the elements we want to talk about, dynamics, being loud or soft with our soloing. The chords, of course, that we're going to talk about are F sharp minor, and we might play it this way. We might actually voice it like this. All kinds of ways to form our chords, and that's really, really important. A lot of times, if you know this arpeggio, people might think that this is strictly for a different style of play, like a sweep or something. But I'm going to use it for chords. And then I might go to my next chord, just right here. Maybe add an extension to it. This is, of course, going to be an A chord. And we're going to think of all the ways that we can play these guys. Play an A that way. That's kind of like a lot of times referred to as a C voicing. And I might play my A up here as well. We all know that. That's pretty simple. But I can use some of my pentatonic licks in and around these chords, and it's going to be fantastic. E, we're going to keep E pretty much like this. In an inverted form, where I've got my third finger on G sharp, and then my first finger laying flat. Of course, across B, E, and F sharp here. So I've got those fun notes that I can work with. Now here, those double stops, and you've seen those in some of those other lessons where we're holding these two strings. We're going to hammer to the note above it, and that's going to be fun, and those are going to be some nice embellishments that we're going to put into there. And we're going to think of different forms of our pentatonic. Of course, we have the first one, so we want to think of that and just get it out of the way. This is form 1. All right, and then we're going to think of form 3, and I actually want to take this time, point out that root though. If I'm in F sharp minor, I'm in the key of A major. And one thing that my teacher told me that was so helpful, he said, anytime you play your basic A major scale, and in this case the A major scale would look like this. He said, anytime you play that A major scale, all you got to do is play your third form of your pentatonic scale from the second note, and you're golden. It'll always work. It'll tie in with your relative minor, my root note's here, and that's going to give me some really good room to work around with, and it's just quick. Like I suddenly look at my major scale differently by when I see it that way. I'm going to keep going back to that F sharp though, because that's our tonality, and that's what we're really trying to keep. So I'm going to use the fourth form of my pentatonic as well. Now, one thing that is really, really important before we start deeper into the lesson is to always remember that anytime my root note's on the third, or played with my third finger, I've got all of the notes that are right in the core part of my pentatonic scale here. Everybody's really comfortable going like this. You know, any of these licks that involve these core notes here, and this is my F sharp root. So if I'm here, I can do all the same things. And we all know our low to high slide. So slowly, that's this. That's working from one octave F sharp to the other F sharp. And when I get here, then I'm going to replace my middle finger as what would be my third, and I can play all the same stuff. Okay, so we're going to use these shapes. We're going to talk about some licks here in a moment, but let's kind of try to get on a groove, right? And we'll keep just a simple... We're not even going to change chords yet. I might go to this voicing. Trying to be different, right? I'm inspired by this. I'm not going to play it exactly the same. Embellishments, right? Middle finger coming up, coming down, put that pinky out there for my minor 7. Go to that A maybe. And if you're unfamiliar with these chords, this is just a good way to kind of get into the groove and feel the beat. There's that E there. Hammer all of them. Really nice sound. So what I like to do is try to play a little bit of soloing as I transfer from one chord to the next.